Welcome to this step-by-step sand and finish guide for breathing new life into your tired, well-used engineered oak floor. As we can see, this floor area has had heavy footfall with scratch hotspots from furniture. Exactly what you'd expect from a busy family home. Always make sure you have clean, well-running machines. This will help you create the best surface for the primer and finish application. Check the tyres of the belt sander are clean. Leftover dirt could cause uneven performance and transfer marks to the floor. A clean workflow makes life easier for everyone and makes a huge impression on the homeowner. We recommend a 50 to 60 grit belt to start, but use your expert judgment depending on wood species. A good way to understand the sanding process is that the coarse abrasive used for the first sanding serves to remove the previous treatment and to render the floor flat. All other sanding is required to remove the scratches from the initial sand. Finishing is typically done with a P120, so an example of grit selection would be starting with a P50 or 60 and finishing with a P100 or P120. Remember, don't skip more than one grit. If staining, some extra sanding processes are recommended. When sanding, remember to stagger your start and stop position from pass to pass and feather at each end to avoid start-stop marks, which can be very obvious in the final finish. The edger is used to get to those areas not able to be worked on by the belt sander. Be sure not to grind the edger through corners. This will create a dip on the floor that is difficult to remove. Instead, feather up to the corner, then pick up the edger and move it to the other side and feather again. The leftover corner sections can be finished with a scraper and hand sander. The floor should be vacuumed between cuts to keep on top of dust and stray grit. For the blending process, you will need your Bona FlexiSand, multi-disc drive plate and sanding discs. Attach the multi-disc and your chosen abrasives. Move the buffer in the same direction as the flooring. Remember to overlap each pass by 50%. It's very important to create uniform timber texture to avoid colour variation if a stain is going to be used. During the buffing phase, very fine dust is created and gets packed into the wood seams. Even after vacuuming, this hard-packed dust can still be there. Applying finishes to these areas will cause this dust to swell and results in what's known as grain raise. We have a better way for you to get the cleanest, smoothest floor ready for finishing, and that is the Tampico brush, which is named after the plant it's made from. It's stiff enough to get the dust out of the floor and seams, but soft enough not to scratch the wood, pretty much eliminating all first coat issues. Start your Tampico cleaning at the far wall and move towards the exit. Again, overlap each pass by 50%. Vacuum the room one last time, and now you're ready to start applying the chosen finishes. For this job, we're going to be using 1 coat of Bona Natural Primer, followed by 2 coats of Bona 2-part Traffic HD. Both will be applied with Bona's medium pile microfiber roller and cutting-in brush. Oh, a quick reminder, Bona primers should never be used as the final treatment for wood floors. The natural primer has a small amount of white pigment, which helps keep the natural colour of the wood and can help reduce it from yellowing. Give the bottle a good shake. Open, remembering to insert the filter, and decant into your roller tray. Ideally, this should be a 2-person job, with one of you cutting in and the other rolling the main area of the floor. Start in the far corner of the room, working back to the exit, remembering to always keep a wet edge. Leave to dry for at least 2 hours. When only applying 1 coat of pigmented primer, we recommend any denibbing be done after the first top coat has been applied and dried. Denibbing on 1 coat of pigmented primer can lead to patchiness. To apply the Bona Traffic HD, pour the hardener directly into the bottle and shake well. Don't worry, you have a good 4 hours of use time, but we suggest getting the job done well within this time. If you aren't needing to use a whole bottle, we can supply this easy-to-use measuring bottle for smaller amounts to get your mix just right. If using part bottles, it's essential to really shake the bottle well before pouring off the required amount, and then add the hardener. If you don't shake the bottle well, you can end up with variable sheen levels. If using the whole bottle, remember to add the filter and pour into your roller tray. Work across the room in the same way as before and leave to dry for at least 3 hours. Before the second coat of Traffic HD, check to see if it needs a buff with a Bona Scrad pad with Scrad wings, and then remove all dust. If the previous coat has been left for more than 24 hours, it is essential to buff in this way before overcoating. The floor will be able to take light traffic 8 hours after the second coat, and can have kids, dogs and their toys after 12 hours. If you're wanting to cover with rugs or other floor coverings, we recommend leaving the floor for at least 7 days. Also avoid placing heavy objects or doing any damp mopping to the floor during this time. Maintaining the new floor finish is important, so regular vacuuming and cleaning with the Bona wood floor spray mop is recommended. For higher sheens, an application of Freshen Up once or twice a year is advised.